All right, can you hear me now? You know what's so... Can you hear me now? 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 Check, 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 check. Put a yes if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you... Okay, good. It was so funny because actually I just finished saying that I feel a little bit disheveled today, and that has nothing to do with anything else. So, well, it has something to do with something else. So let me start again. Hi, I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary post-game live stream for Tuesday night, May the 10th, a night where the Canucks lost 5-0 to the Winnipeg Jets. I've had an eventful night in a good way, and that's kind of why I'm a tiny bit disheveled. So my good computer, my Mac that I usually do these streams off of, it's actually at work because I had to lend it to someone else. It's not technically my Mac, it's our office's, so I had to lend it to someone else. So now I'm on my PC with a monitor, and I think I've just realized that the setup isn't perfect when it comes to the size of the screen. Doesn't matter. We are here and we are hanging out. So I want to give a couple shout outs first. My usual shout out to Hall of Fame members: Jens95, simalexander, Justin Credible, nucksfan number 29, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifried, Adam Broomfield, the Shea Family Channel, and Jamie Sports Talk and More. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all levels. You're listed in my video descriptions. And if you want to join the CCC crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos. And yes, see, I'm messing up. It's May 10th. It's May 11th. I mean, this is complete. I should just start again. You know, I quit. Good night, guys. Have a good night. God bless. No, I'm just kidding. So thank you. If you want to join as a member of this channel, the CCC crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos. You guys are quick to correct tonight. That's good. I need that in my life. Truly. I want to thank the mods right away. Thanks in advance for the work that you are going to do. I want to thank Monkey 9 Brewing, who is the sponsor of all these post-game live streams. And I want to give a shout out to a special young lady turning 19 years old today. One of my newest members. Her name is Kylin. She is the daughter of another member in here. But I want to wish you a happy birthday, Kylin. I would sing to you, but then I still want you to be a member of the channel. I value your membership, and I wouldn't want to lose anyone else at the same time. So she said, don't do that. Or is that something else? So happy birthday to you. Happy 19th birthday. And I know that you have some big plans with your schooling and stuff. So it is awesome that you are here. Also want to give a shout out to the lovely and talented Katie Caldwell. She is not the reason why I'm disheveled. Although we did a Zoom chat. We recorded for about 45 minutes and then we chatted for another 20 to 25 minutes afterwards. So I wasn't rushed coming out of here, but really enjoyed my time with her. Then actually the reason why the video wasn't plugged in is I had to download the recording so I could edit it later. And when I unplugged the microphone to plug in my jump drive, I forgot to re-plug in the microphone. So, I can't wait for you to see my interview with Katie tomorrow. If you don't know her yet, you will know her soon. She's a force when it comes to sports media, and she's doing such great work when it comes to advocacy for women in sports and women in sports media. And we spent a lot of our time talking about that. So Katie said she might be in here, and if she is, awesome. Thank you. And if she is, there she is. Aren't you kind? Thanks, friend. It was cute. Katie said that she comes to these streams often, and I have no reason not to believe her. But then I said, well, why don't you ever say something in the comment section instead of lurking? And she goes, how's it lurking when I'm at this? And then she admitted that it was lurking. So Katie, I'm glad you are here, and thank you for your time tonight. I can't wait to, I will not rush this one. I'll still go for 45 minutes, an hour, but then immediately afterwards, I will edit that. So, and schedule it for 9 o'clock tomorrow. So make sure that a lot of love for Katie in the chat, as there should be. So happy birthday, Kylan. Thank you, Katie. And thanks to moderators, members, and Monkey 9. And of course, no matter where you're watching from, if you are in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston in Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, in the province, in the country, on the continent, or around the world, I appreciate you. I do not take you for granted. And I know that you could be watching or doing anything else. So subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Like this video if you haven't liked this video already. Don't like the fact the Canucks lost. Don't like the fact the Canucks couldn't even score. Like the fact that we are here talking on a Tuesday night about the Vancouver Canucks. And it's Tuesday night, May 11th, not May 10th like I've been saying for about the last 3 or 4 minutes. So thanks to all of you. You know that I like to get 50% of likes of viewers. So there's about 40 of you in here right now. Let's get those likes up to 20 or so if you would be so kind. Okay, last couple things, and then I'm just going to throw to you. I don't have anything to say about the game because I barely watched it. I had the first period on. Then my family and I, we had to run a work event where we ran a game of Kahoot. If any of you have played Kahoot before, then it's an online game, and we were running it for about 30 or 40 different families in our archdiocese. So it's kind of cool. We ran it for about 45 minutes. It was me, Gail, Sean, Jacob, and Kayla, all 5 of us. And we were running a game show. We were like the game show hosts. And it was really funny. You guys know a bit about my kids, a bit about my family. Gail's very shy. Great speaker, though, because she's an elementary school teacher. But she was fine to be in the background. My daughter, Kayla, grade 8, beautiful, funny, but quite shy as well. Sean, who's an excellent public speaker, very funny, very witty. But he's a little shy. So we had Sean, Kayla, and Gail sitting on the stools in the background. And then, of course, that left the 2 big mouths of the family. Yes, one of them is me. You guys know that. You guys know that because you hear me talk 3 or 4 times a week. And then the other one is my son, Jacob, the one graduating. He did his little promposal at high school today. Man, when I was in high school, now granted, that was 30 years ago. But when I was in high school, we didn't waste all this. Well, I shouldn't say waste, but we didn't spend all this time and money and energy coming up with this these creative ways of posters and people filming and lying to this person so you can get them there. It was just, hey, you want to come to grad with me? And then if they said no, you say, why? You're not going to go? No, you don't say that. You say, hey, you're going to come to grad? I think that was my style, and it always worked. Granted, I've only been to one grad, and I've had the same girlfriend since I was 15 years old, so maybe I'm not the best judge. I noticed that no one ever asked me for love advice, dating advice in the chat. I think that's a sign. Okay, so let's get to your questions in a second. Last thing, thanks to everyone who joined Parker and me for Canucks After Dark last night. We unintentionally and inadvertently probably launched a new segment on our show. We're going to call it Don't Do That. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, check my Twitter feed, or better yet, check out the show from last night. Canucks After Dark, Parker and me. Right at the 30-minute mark, we start our litany of Don't Do That, and it was pretty darn funny. Okay, I basically blabbed for 9 minutes. One of those minutes, my microphone wasn't even working, but I'm here. Happy birthday, Rylan. Thank you, Katie. That will come out tomorrow morning at 9. Oh, and last thing, and then I will actually get to you and your questions. Last thing, I got some bad news today. First world problems, but bad news nonetheless. You guys know that I was so hyped to go to the hockey game on Tuesday night with Marie. Marie is singing the anthems. Then I was going to accompany her, not take too many pictures or tweet so much so I don't get in trouble this time. But I was excited. That was going to be on Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday night, I was going to even top that by live streaming the game, at least my commentary, my reaction to the game, answering your questions, and then doing a mini concert and wearing my earring. I'm not sure how that, but it was 3 things, right? It was live streaming, it was doing a mini concert, and then wearing an earring, which I still don't know who wants to see that. And that was if the games were normal time at night. But then the NHL released today that the Tuesday game here is going to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the Wednesday game in Calgary is going to be 12:30 in the afternoon. Now, I don't know why they just didn't flip it where they were playing at home twice in a row, and then they made the Sunday's game in Vancouver, at least the Calgary game. They could have flipped it. But regardless, I can't go. Usually I have a flexible job. You guys seen I vlog during lunchtime and during work hours about the Canucks. I have a flexible job, and usually I would be able to go to the game with Marie, but I am actually presenting at that time at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, so I cannot skip my presentation just to go to a Canucks game. And then Wednesday night, I'm not going to do a live stream on Wednesday at 1. No one's going to be watching. So this is how I'm adjusting. Well, Tuesday night, I can't adjust. I'm not going to the game, unfortunately. So that's too bad. But I will be doing my live stream during the game, my commentary, my play-by-play, my mini concert, and wearing the earring, Johnny Canuck. And T-Dot is actually the one who's been bugging me. I will be doing all that on Sunday night, where the Canucks play host Calgary at 7:30. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be on the computer from basically 7:30 until 10 or 10:30. And that'll be kind of like my year-end live stream, even though it's not really the season end yet. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. It just works out that it happened to be the one weekend this month where I'm not doing any members things, either live streams or Zoom chats, so whatever it may be. So look forward to that on Sunday. Sunday, I will be doing, live for 3 hours straight. Game, maybe even do ping pong. Oh no, I'd have to attach everything. No, so we'll be doing that on Sunday night. Okay, that's been 10 minutes. I can't believe that's been 11 minutes. So over to you. There's only 42 people, which is still pretty good, after the Canucks got demolished 2 hours ago. But let's go questions only, at least to start. And then we will go from there. C Edits. Hi, Clay. Sorry to hear you can't attend the game. Thank you. You're very sweet. What are your thoughts on DiPietro joining the Men's World Championship goaltending for trio for Canada? For DiPietro, I think it's awesome. It's a great experience. Even if he might get into one of the round robin games, but even if he doesn't play a lot, just to be around professionals, I think that is going to be an outstanding experience for him, even though he hasn't really played much, if at all, this year. I know, and I said this with Parker last night on Canucks After Dark, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a lot of players go this year just because of how strange the season has been and the fact that you're traveling around the world, halfway across the world to play in Latvia. So we'll see who says yes, who says no. But I'm thrilled for DiPietro, and I think that's a great question. Noah, hi Clay, how are you? I'm doing great, Noah. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well as well. LA Women's Hoops, would you trade for Jack Eichel? Who would you give up? Parker and I talked about this too. Yeah, I would consider a trade for him. I think any package for him starts with one of Horvat, Miller, or Besser, plus probably a good prospect, plus a first or second round draft pick, and that's just a start. I don't think it's going to be 1-for-1 PD for Eichel. I don't think Buffalo would do that, but I would then get away from having to answer that by saying I think it starts with Horvat, Miller, or Besser, a high prospect, and a high-end prospect, and a draft pick, and that's just a start. So I would explore it, but I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are interested for sure. Armin Travis Green said we look like we were a day late and $1 short. Yeah. Do you think that is a shot at management and ownership? I don't think so. I watched the post game. I saw that as simply saying that his team has run out of gas. And what are they motivated to play for? You can talk about playing for pride, playing for positions, but the team is not playing for a playoff spot, and that's what they want to be doing. Earlier today he said that he still wants to coach the Canucks, and that Benning has told him that he wants him to coach the Canucks. Katie and I talked about it in our Zoom chat, whether or not Green's going to be back. I like him, but with every passing day it becomes less likely, but I still hold out hope that they will get a deal done. Sharm, say Clay, hope all is well. Thank you. We should do a Canucks Kahoot once with you. Oh, actually, that would be fun. That would be really good. That's a great idea, actually. Also, I was wondering if you have a fish, Tank. Okay, so thank you for trying to get me to say the word. So it doesn't become like a complete gong show. I will say that word if it has nothing to do with the Canucks, because I will say fish tank. Ooh, I said it. Gas tank. Ooh, army tank. But I will not say it. I will not, at least to the best of my ability, I will not say it in terms of the Vancouver Canucks. Adam Clay, do you think the Green situation is becoming more ominous, or do you think something gets done? With each passing day, I think it gets more ominous, but I still hold out hope that they get something done, because I really, really like him. Nick, the game looked really messy. Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of it. I'll take your word for it. You're welcome, Nucks fan. Noah, hi Clay. Do you think Roussel and Sutter will return at least one game this season? I don't think if they need to, because Sutter's interesting though, because he's gone after the season. Roussel's got one more year left on his contract. But if you're looking for guys, if you want Lyndon Gadjevich and those type of guys, Lockwood, those guys to play, then I don't know if Sutter and Roussel get back in. Great question. Nolan, Winnipeg Jets fan. What players give the Canucks the most trouble from the Jets? Interesting to hear an outside thought on our team. Well, Nolan, you may know that the Jets are my second favorite team. Still don't know how far they're going to go in the playoffs, especially matching up against Edmonton in the first round. But there are obviously a lot of great teams, great players on the Jets. I like Connor Hellebuyck. Obviously, when he's on top of his game, he is very tough to beat. And their top six, is strong. When you have guys like Seifried and Wheeler and Connor and Dubois and Ehlers when he's healthy, that's really good. No one on their defense scares me, but and they got some depth players like Kopp and Lowry who are quite good. Perreault's really annoying, but he's good. I miss Stastny, so I think the forward, it's like a sandwich where or reverse sandwich where the forwards and the goalie are good and the defense not so good, but there's a reason why the Canucks have a lot of trouble against Winnipeg all the time. Good question, Nolan. What playoff matchup are you most excited for? Aside from, it's easy to pick the two Canadian ones, like Toronto, Montreal, that'll be fun. Edmonton, Winnipeg will be okay. Colorado and Vegas are not meeting in the first round, but that's going to be a heck of a second round. I am really interested actually in Florida, Tampa. They're from the same area, obviously. Tampa's the defending champions. Florida is playing well. I think that's going to be a really good first round series for sure. By the way, I'll save it to the end. But I'm running my playoff pool once again. Got a lot of people last year, and I think I'll get even more this year. But I'll be running. I'll explain my playoff pool at the end of this stream. Fangirl, in your opinion, who is the best Canuck tonight? Oh, wait, before that, Inferno, any preliminary expectations for Jim Benning's end season availability and player exit interviews? Expectations, I think, I don't want to say he'll make excuses, but I would like to see him take ownership of some of the moves he did or didn't make, but I think he will talk more about COVID and being resilient and unprecedented and things like that. Fangirl, who was the best Canuck tonight? Didn't see enough of the game, but I know even though he was a -2, Horvat had 6 shots on goal, and he was singled out in a good way in the press conference. So maybe I'll go with Horvat. Meowza, Petey or Quinn would have to be involved, or Buffalo's wasting their time. Yep, that's fair. Glenn, do you think there will be fans at Rogers Arena next season? Yes, I do, but I don't think they're going to start with full. I think they're going to start with about a third, or between a third and a quarter capacity. So maybe you're looking at 4,000 to 6,000 to start off. What is the team's number one need addition in the offseason? I think they have 2. They're both equal. I think a top 6 player, whether that's a center or not, but a top 6 player. And I think also another good defenseman. I think the forward more than the defense, quite frankly, to be honest with you. I can't believe I just said quite frankly, to be honest with you. I might as well add it personally in there as well. Yes. So yeah, do you think Edler's camp not have talked about a contract as a sign he may not be back next season? I heard Elliot Friedman talking about this, and he was actually talking about it with respect to Travis Green's no contract. And he says when the Canucks want to get something done, they get it done. The Demko contract, the Pearson contract, as examples of things they got done. Green not getting done, and Edler not getting done. My guess, and I saw him make a few brutal plays tonight. See edits. My guess, I'm not hoping in a bad way, but my guess is Edler will not be back next season. Fillmore, who's going to be better next year, Flames or Canucks? I say Canucks. Edmund hoping for Habs upset. Charms, great to see you. How you avoided to say tank right away explains why you're my client with that great IQ. Yes, just not a lot of good ping pong skills right now. You're a good agent, those Charms. I appreciate you. Justin, hey Clay, did they announce why they're changing the times for the Oilers and Flames games coming up? Is it because of TV conflicts or for other teams' playoff games? I think it's both. It's TV conflicts with playoff games. They're without a doubt, to me, it's because they wanted to keep the Tuesday and Wednesday nights clear, especially when you're into the playoffs for all 8 series. Canucks, Calgary, mean nothing games, bump them early. Do we need to protect Pearson, or does he have a no movement? So Noah, he does not have a no movement, so we do not have to protect him, but that was kind of like the unwritten rule, unwritten agreement in his new contract, is that we will indeed be protecting him. See edits. How would you go about evaluating the season? Lots of talk in the media about this. Some saying it should be a write-off. Others saying it's still a failure to miss the playoffs. I'm gonna kind of take the easy way, see edits, and do a combination of both. I don't think we can. I always get this wrong. I don't think we can overstate. Yes, that's correct. I don't think we can overstate how much of an effect COVID had. It's one thing to come back, as a team, but it's another thing to not come back at full capacity. Wait, is it overstate or understate now? Now that I think about this, I should know this. I think I'm a smart guy. If I want to make sure we give enough credence to something, we don't want to understate it. Yeah. We don't want to understate it. I'm not that smart tonight, you guys. Yeah, we don't want to understate it. It can't be overstated enough. Yeah, that's right. Start again. I think COVID had a big effect on the team. And yeah, it is understated. You're right, Rob. So I do think, see edits, to answer your question properly, I do think that if there's no COVID and we didn't make the playoffs, that would have been a disappointment. However, because of COVID, I don't know how you can look at that and say that didn't affect the team and affect their chances, even though before COVID they had put themselves in a big hole. So I have arguments for, I have time for both arguments, that the team underperformed and they should be evaluated as such, but COVID did not give them, did not help their chances at all. Fangirl, is there a date set for the draft lottery? I think someone can look it up. I'm sure it's going to be soon, actually. Fillmore, Flames will read. Vancouver Gaming. Oh, good. So some of you are getting your first vaccine. That's awesome. As you guys know I got my AstraZeneca 3 weeks ago now. So I feel fine, but I know there's a lot of talk about that one. Will there be enough time? Inferno, we'll see. There's going to be a lot of time. And I'm not sure if Jim Bennington's going to be using that comment anytime soon. Liam, do you have any sense Aquilini will make management changes this offseason? Perhaps part of why he doesn't want Benning to sign Green in case new GM wants his own coach. Yeah, my gut feeling is Benning's going to stay. But I also have a gut feeling, maybe it's wishful thinking, that Green is going to stay as well. I do think Ian Clark is as good as gone. But, maybe Benning and Green somehow do stay. But it's so tough to say, Liam. Tampa Panthers going to be bad blood, yes. Horvat, 6 hits and 2 blocks, good. Best Canuck was Demko because he didn't play, yeah. Katie, Rihu stood out. I thought Gravac looked okay. Yeah, he's noticeable, Katie, for the parts I saw. But when I watched the highlights, I did see that he was on the ice for a couple goals. But you can say that, I guess, about almost every Canucks skater tonight. But, yeah, what was Gravac's stat line? Yeah, -3, but 2 shots and 4 hits. So he was making an impact for sure, but he was also on the ice for 3 of the goals. Of course, it's not just him. Harlock was a -4. That's not a good look. PD, the best Canuck, because he didn't need to come back until next year. Would you pursue a D-man like Eric Chernak? I've always liked Chernak. Good size, good hands, decent contract. I just don't know how much money the Canucks are going to have, quite frankly. Fangirl, just a heads up, my name isn't listed in the members part of the description when I saw it on there this morning. Yeah, Fangirl, thank you. I will update my descriptions for the videos tomorrow. I know that you're the newest member and I may be pulling from an old template, so I'll make sure that you are listed. Thank you. Trying to reach the word limit in an essay, quite frankly, to be honest with you. Yeah, my favorite is personally, I feel. That's kind of redundant because when you say I feel or I think, That's the whole point. It's it's you, it's personal. So no need to use the term personally, but just a small pet peeve of mine. I'm certainly not a grammar expert, and I can't stand when people correct me in terms of grammar, especially if it's casual language or if I'm doing a speaking gig. If I'm trying to write an essay and get for my master's, of course, then I will take all the grammar help I can get. But if I'm speaking or if I'm doing a video description, there's one person, I'm not sure if he's here. I'm not going to name him. Well, I already gave away that he's a guy, but he takes great delight in correcting any of my mistakes. And it's not because I'm defensive. I don't bother responding because it doesn't make sense to me. All to say, you guys can correct me anytime. If I'm factually wrong, correct me. Like when I said today was Tuesday, May 10th, or when I don't plug in my microphone. The fact you can't hear me, that's a fact. You can't hear me, which is pretty vital for a live stream, I think. Quattrob. Hughes and PD contract not done yet, so that doesn't mean the Canucks don't want them. That's exactly what it means. They are good as gone. I'm kidding. Ace, how long do you think the Canucks will sign PD for? My guess is they will do bridge deals of 3 years each for PD and Hughes, and then that way, after that, you can negotiate for whatever, 5, 6, 7, 8 years after that. Since we need to protect Pearson, will he be included? No, he will be included. So I've always said it's going to be the big four of Horvat, Besser, Pettersson, Miller, Pearson, Mott, and Lind. That's who I think the Canucks are going to protect. Gaudette is traded. He's one of the, and then so that means I think I think Zach McEwen could be someone that might be on the move that Seattle might pick. Do you think they'll give first choice to season ticket holders when they give their first open to spectators? Nucks fan, that makes sense to me because, and it's not just because of money, but indeed those are the ones that have committed money to the team. Some people like me, we didn't ask for a refund. We asked the team to hold on to it. In hindsight, I should have asked for a refund and at least invested into something, but whatever. The Canucks are holding on to it. So yes, I do think season ticket holders maybe not get all of priority because I actually don't know how many season ticket members there are. If they open up to 5,000, for instance, there might only be 3,000 or 4,000 season ticket holders right now. I have no clue. It used to be way higher than that. And then you could still open up to the general public as well. And it is understate. Thank you. Ask you. Make sure to like the show. I cannot. See, I messed it up again. When I'm talking about how important something is, I cannot. It shouldn't be understated. See, I'm not that smart. If I want to say, do I say I cannot understate how you need to like the stream, or I cannot overstate? No, in that case, I cannot overstate. I can't say it enough that you guys should like the stream. So what was I saying about understate? Who knows? I'm a mess tonight in a good way. Liam, even though rankings are not finalized, do you have any predictions for the draft lottery spots and what teams may get it? Well, if you take away the actual lottery, because there's no way we can predict a lottery win. Katie's the best. She's actually tweeting something to me about Tyler Gravac. Okay, I'm gonna watch this just to give her full. Okay, nice hit. Okay, that was good. Okay, fine. Gravac had a good game, Katie. Yeah, not including Liam, the actual lottery itself, which you can't possibly predict. Obviously, Buffalo had the worst season, so they will be number 1. And then, yeah, it looks like no one's going to unseat Anaheim for number 2. And then some combination of New Jersey. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Buffalo, Anaheim, and New Jersey, and then some of the California teams. When people say PD, are they talking about Pettersson or Pearson? Definitely they're talking about Pettersson. Pearson is Piercy or Piercy. July 21st is draft lottery. Thank you, Fillmore. Pettersson, yes. Living La Vida Loca. That's good. What players do we not have to protect for the expansion draft? We do not have to protect Quinn Hughes, so that's a big one because of his contract status. And that's really the one. And then Hoglander, of course, Podkolzin, anyone that's kind of drafted in the past everyone from 2019 on, we don't have to protect either. So the big ones that we are concerned about, we don't have to protect. And Rathbone, I don't think we have to protect either because he's not eligible. He hasn't played enough games yet. So the guys we do not have to protect that are important are Hughes, Rathbone, Podkolzin, Hoglander. See, it's during the intermission, Sat projected his list of players. Do you think McEwen is worth being protected as a seventh forward, and if not, who else? See, I guess you asked this before I answered, so I think 5 is Pearson, 6 is Mott, and 7 is Lind. No problem, Adam. Good night. All you're missing is me making a bunch of mistakes tonight. No, Noah, you didn't miss it. I'm just really slow. Tampa, Florida. Justin, thoughts on the Twitter chatter about how the firebending crowd is planning on chanting firebending at the first home game fans are allowed back at? Bad look for us as a general fan base or justified? Can I say both? I think there are a lot of people that are upset, but people are allowed to say whatever they want. They pay their hard-earned money. I would never vocally chant for someone to lose their job, though, so I will not partake in that. I don't know if the justified is the right word, but it's their money, their voice, and they have every right to express it. Kind of sad. See, edits. How many games do you see the Caps Bruins playoff series going to? 6 or 7 for sure. I still give Caps the advantage. They finished higher in the standings, but Boston's a very, very stingy team. We know that they're hard to kind of swat away. Yeah, 6 or 7, but I have to think about that for my predictions later. Crispy Assassin, do you think the Canucks can make the playoffs next season since the Pacific Division is weak? Yeah, if they go back to Pacific Division, you think Vegas and Edmonton are good, then the Canucks will be right there with Calgary, Seattle, and the 3 California teams. I do think they have a chance. Absolutely. Do you think Madison Bowie doesn't play? Yeah, I don't know. If he plays on the right side, he'd have to bring out one of the 3 veterans, and Hamnick, Schmidt, and Myers. I don't see that happening, which is kind of weird, but we'll see. He hasn't had a look yet. Maybe he gets into one. There's one year, remember, we brought up Josh Tevez and it's like Tevez, Rafferty, and someone else. They each got like 1 or 2 games each. Justin, I hear what you're saying about that's a little silly to fire. We should be chanting a bunch of other stuff like don't do that or something like that. So Rome says, I cannot overstate, but then Inferno says you don't want to understate something that's important. I don't want to. Yes. Oh, yeah. You guys are saying the same thing. You don't want to understate. And you cannot overstate. Yeah. So I'm going to just use I cannot overstate. That's how I think about it. Very good. What do you think about Tampa Bay starting 3 black forwards last night? First time in NHL history. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Ask Gail about understate, overstate. No, despite her being the teacher, my English is better than it. This is kind of bad, you guys. This is so bad. You're going to think I'm the biggest jerk of a husband or a boyfriend at the time. When I first met Gail, she's from the Philippines, right? So she moved here when she was 11 or 12. So when I first met her, I thought she was a refugee, firstly. Back then, as a high school student, and even back in 1989, that wasn't as politically incorrect as it is to say now. So number 1, I called her refugee, not my finest moment. And number 2, I asked her how her English was so good. I'm such a dummy. And she said to me, it's because we speak English in the Philippines. Like, it's so stupid. It reminds me of when I was playing basketball actually in the Philippines once. I've been there a few times. And I was playing basketball with this guy in one of the neighborhood courts. And I said to him, I basically said the same, something like, do you play here often or something like that? And he goes, hey man, we speak English here. So that was, again, not my finest moment. I have a lot of these not my finest moments. Dogwood, is it easy to resell individual tickets when you buy season tickets? Do the Canucks have a ticket resell app? Great question, Dogwood. The year after the Canucks made the Stanley Cup Finals, I resold 2/3 of my games even before the season started. And it works out really well because I get basically a 33% discount by buying season tickets. I sell 2/3 of my games. I go to 1/3 of them, and I bump up the price a tiny bit over what I pay, but less than what that ticket would go for on Ticketmaster. So let's say a friend buys a ticket from me. He gets a deal because he's buying cheaper than Ticketmaster, and I make a bit of money. If I sell enough of those games, my own season tickets are paid for, i.e. those 12 to 15 games I go to, they are completely paid for. So it's a really, really good system. You know, we make a bit more money on the Toronto-Montreal games if we want to sell them, but we don't do it for the money. We do it a bit for the money because it helps us pay for tickets every year. But when the Canucks aren't doing well, it is tough to sell, and sometimes we have to eat them. Not physically eat the tickets, but we have to kind of eat some of the money and or take losses or give them. I would love to give more tickets away, but that's probably why I have no money. My season ticket partner Mike and my lovely wife Gail, they are the ones that say you can't just give tickets away all the time. So I'm glad that they are there for me. Great question, Liam. No, sorry, that was Dogwood. Boom roasted. Katie, maybe I liked it better when you didn't. No, I'm just kidding. I love it that you're commenting. That's so cool. C edits. Who would you say is a more likely to be an NHL caliber player, Gadjevich or Lockwood? Seth says he sees Lockwood as more of the edge. I would agree with that, but I want to see both. Lockwood gets me more excited than Gadjevich, but I want to see both guys actually playing in the NHL first. Gadjevich's got more size. Lockwood has more of an edge. I could see both, and I would love to see what they can do. Good question, C edit. Sorry for my weak answer. I cannot understate its importance. Okay, I'm gonna look up this whole understate and overstate thing later. Yes, Noah Mikey DiPietro is going to compete at the Worlds. He's been named as the third goaltender, which is pretty cool. Tank Nation, I said your name. I'm not saying that the Canucks should do that. What position should Canucks draft for in the 2021 draft, or should it be best player? I've always said it should be best player. But if you come to a point where it's a matter of two players, oh gosh. They're kind of weak. Now that Rathbone you think is going to make the team. So Rathbone and Hughes are on the team. So who does that leave as a true defensive prospect that's really good? I don't know if we have any that are like Wu might be a third pairing guy. On the offensive, on the forward side, Podkolzin will be up here. So are you looking at Lockwood or Aiden McDonough as, so maybe you draft D, all things being equal. Although I just said that I'd like to see them beef up their top six. Maybe you can do that through free agency. Nux, Clay, what are your thoughts on Hughes and Miller declining Team USA's invite? I think it's good so they can rest and be fully healthy, and you don't want to risk an injury. I think it's fine. This has been a strange year, especially for the Canucks players. It's been a strange year. And those two guys will make the Olympic team if the NHL does go to the Olympics. So they do not have to go to the World to prove themselves, to prove their loyalty to the national team, which I'd say some fringe players might have to do. Fango, do you have a date set for the members only Zoom? Yes, for this month only, it's going to be the fourth Sunday. So it's going to be May 23rd. But going forward, it's going to be the third Sunday of every month. What is Will Lockwood's potential? Sounds like a lot of other guys are talking about, but bottom six. How many upsets do you think will happen in this playoffs? Canucks dream, it depends. If you're talking about upsets, meaning the lower seed knocks off a higher seed, right? That's the only objective way you could say something's an upset, lower versus higher. I'd say of the 8 series, we'll see 3 of them. I think there will be some like Carolina's going to whitewash, Nashville for sure. I think Vegas or Colorado. I think it's Vegas. Will take out St. Louis, but Minnesota, Colorado, Tampa versus Florida. A lot of those are going to be close. Even the Edmonton Winnipeg one might be close. So obviously the upsets will come if you're talking by rank, there's going to be more 3 beating 2 upsets than 4 beating 1 in theory. Montreal or Toronto, who you got for the playoffs? I don't have a dog in the fight, but I think Toronto will win. Just want to stop by and say good game. I always like when the Jets play Vancouver. Always fun to watch. Yeah, fun for you. Thanks for coming by. Winnipeg Jets 280. Reaction Club. Raffles game-winning goal with 2 seconds remaining. Okay, I have to check that out. Which of these deadline trades or waiver pickups going to stay? Well, Highmore has another year on his contract. I think that I would not be surprised if VC goes, if Harlot goes. And Boyd, I like for his versatility, but he's got to show more. If Lind is eligible to be exposed to Seattle, does that mean the same for Gadjevich? Also, does Seattle automatically get the 3rd overall pick? Good question, J-Dub. Both about Lind versus Gadjevich. That's a really good question. Yeah, but I don't see Gadjevich getting picked because he's proven even less than Lind. Also, does Seattle automatically get the 3rd overall pick? I do, and I think they're entered in the lottery as well. But if someone can look that up and can confirm that, that would be great. While Gabriel is a Habs fan, and he's still saying Leafs in 4. That's an honest take. If Luke Hughes and Brent Clark are both available when the Canucks draft, who should we take? Hughes is left shot, Clark is right shot. I've heard a lot about Clark more recently, but I still think Luke Hughes coming here might have a positive long-term effect on keeping Hughes down the road. On Canucks Central, they brought on Will Scout. He said that Brent Clark is compared to Jared Spurgeon. Do you think Clark would be a good fit for a future team? I like Spurgeon's game. I like him a lot. He's kind of like a better Troy Stetcher, right? He's small, but he's mobile, good offensive. I think if you're asking me, if Clark would be good for our team, sure, why not? Which NHL team will you support in the playoffs? Winnipeg, Colorado, and Tampa are my 3 favorite teams besides the Canucks. You and RKP Productions have some of the best Canucks parodies. Yes, those guys are good. I wish they didn't private their parodies. I miss listening. Yeah, they're good, and they're very talented. I am the longest running, maybe that's a sad thing, but I've been doing it for 10 years now, where a lot of these parody creators are one and done or one season and done. No one has been around as long as me, and even though many people may wish that I would stop doing them, so I still do like to do 2 or 3 a year. C-Edits. Why do you think the organization was hesitant to go into a full-on rebuild? And what NHL team rebuild do you think has been the best? A true rebuild? Do you call Islanders a rebuild because they got rid of Tavares? Maybe not really. They didn't strip everything away. Colorado, I think Colorado, because they had that horrible 59-point season a few years ago, and look what they've done. Now, I'm not, and I think they did some intentional moves to get rid of older players. So maybe I'd say Colorado's been really good. What are the cons on buying out Roussel, Eriksson, Vertan? We seriously need cap space going forward. Tom, basically, you are on the hook for 2/3 of their salary over twice the remaining contract. So that's why you never buy someone out with 2 years left on the contract, because you are still paying them for another 4 years, admittedly 2/3 of that salary. You should only buy someone out if they have 1 year left on their contract. So the cons of buying them out is they're on your books for 2 years now, albeit at 2/3 of their total cost as opposed to 100%. Justin, Canucks should use Clay's meme to be projected on the scoreboard next season for the Make Some Noise segment. Justin, I 100% support that. Let's make it happen. You work for the team. I don't. Make it happen, Justin. Show your Hall of Fame worthy. Just kidding. You are Hall of Fame worthy even if you don't do that, but I love that idea. Yeah, good luck, Dogwood, buying and reselling for a losing team. You're going to take a bath for the first couple of years, but maybe if you're in it for the long game, for sure. Yes, your levy has to be protected. Dexter is here. Miss Dexter. Do you remember Richard Park? I do. Always remember the Asian guys, or the half Asian guys in the NHL. I can't thank you enough. I can't overstate how much I love sushi. Yes, you're right. I cannot overstate it because you can't explain how much I love it. If you said I can't understate it, yeah, that means that's the opposite. I can't overstate. I can't overstate. Tom, thoughts on trading Schmidt or Myers to acquire $6 million forward? Resign Edler for low. I've seen talk about Schmidt or Myers not being untouchable. We shall see. I'm not sure what their value is, though, right now, to be honest with you. If you can bring back any NHL franchise that has gone, which one would it be? The Quebec Nordiques, without a shadow of a doubt. I went to Atlanta Thrashers game. I know they're Winnipeg now. I went to see an Atlanta-Washington game when Atlanta was, when Washington, it was Ovechkin's rookie season. So that was pretty cool. Seattle, do you think the Oilers could come out of the North? Yes, I think it's a possibility. And I can't wait to see McDavid and Matthews go at it if those two teams win the first round. Do you think Gadjevich will play on Thursday? If not Thursday, he will play before the end of the season. Will you cheer for a Canadian team over others? Nucks fan number 29? No, I am not one of those that will always cheer for a Canadian team. To me, that doesn't matter. It just matters that that's where they play. Clay, what are your thoughts on Hughes and Miller declining Teams USA invites? Yeah, I mentioned that maybe before you asked that. After you asked that, I think it's fine. It's a strange season. Let them rest. GL Rebirth, you had some of the best don't do that's from last night. Thinnest managements in the NHL. Yeah, they don't have a president of hockey operations. So usually you have the big three. You have a aside from the owner, you have a GM, and then you have a president of hockey ops, and then you have your head coach. Obviously, we do not have that position since Linden has left. So yeah, it's a thin management for sure. I think they should hire me. I'll do it for well, I do have a bit of a price at least. Colorado rebuild worked out so fine. Yeah, just Shane trade exactly. I'm not afraid to trade some big players, big contracts. Do you think Tanev and Markstrom could have been good trade chips instead of letting them walk? Yeah, I guess you're talking about last season. If they had Tanev, actually both. If you thought that there was a chance you wouldn't sign them. But then you got to remember, Seattle, that they were hoping and they were gearing up for a playoff run. So, and Demko hadn't proven himself yet. So, would you trade away? You basically be throwing away the season for assets. But at that point in time, they were right in the battle for a playoff spot. Oilers, Pens, Crosby, McDavid. I would love it. A lot has to happen for that to work, though. Noah, since Julevi is only in his first NHL year, does he have to be protected? Yes, he does have to be protected. It's going to be Schmidt, Myers, and Julevi who are protected. Dexter, very funny. Other Asian players, NHL players, Jim Park, the Korea brothers, the guys, the Robertson brothers are half Filipino. Dumba is half Filipino. There's a couple of Japanese guys too, for sure. Zawada only played a bit for Dallas, but he's a local boy from Richmond. And of course, my cousin Dusty Emo, goaltending coach. Brandon Yip, yeah, there you go. Steve Korea. Kyler Yamamoto, of course. I should know these. Clay, do you know what's up with the Beagle injury? Nathan, I don't, but not a lot of news. I don't expect to see Beagle or Pedersen back this season. What are your thoughts on the Gaudet-Heimer trade now that they have been on their teams for a while now? I thought about it at the time, and I still think that Gaudet is a better player than Highmore. But if Gaudet had run his course here, I can see why they made the trade. Suzuki's, of course. Setaguchi, yes. Are you and Parker best buds now? Step brothers. Not best buds. We get along pretty well, though, and we trust each other. I think that's even more important because we've never hung out before. We do talk on the phone once in a while. We'll hang out on Canucks After Dark ends. We'll hang out for half an hour just talking about our channels, helping each other out. You know, the good thing, what I like about Parker is he's honest, he's fair, and there's no like malice in him. He doesn't get mad or jealous that I have a bigger channel. Well, I hope so. I've been doing this way longer. Nor do I get jealous or envious or threatened because he's an up-and-comer. And I think that's the one thing, because sometimes you get that with YouTubers, podcasters, whatever. There's a unhealthy competition, but with me and him, it's always support, and it's good. And we do message each other every day, and I like him a lot, even though he's half my age, which is pretty funny. What do you think about what the young kids that Sens fans did for Stützle's hat trick? Loved it. That was so awesome to see them throwing the hats over the fence there. Do you think Travis Green will get re-signed? I don't think so, but I want him to. Hosang. Jamie Story is half Japanese. I did not know that. Do you think Hall resigns with the Bruins? So tough to say. Usually these big free agents that go to a new team, and usually they don't stick around. They go and then they find money elsewhere. Yeah, so my gut feeling is no, Seattle's. Can't forget, Parker is very good looking and well spoken. Absolutely, he is. Coach Rob, thanks for a great stream. I have to get some sleep. No problem, Coach. I'm going to wrap up now. Jujar Kara, yes. Okay, so this is a good part. Let's do 3 minutes of Ask Me Anything. So no more Canucks questions, no more hockey questions. I'll do 3 minutes max of Ask Me Anything. Then I was going to tell you something. I'll tell you about my hockey pool, and then we will wrap up. Okay. Jet Woo, of course. All right, so 3 minutes of Ask Me Anything. Have you ever done the grouse grind? Yes, I've done it once, and I sucked. Go to breakfast. Pretty boring. Like I like the boring standard stuff. Bacon, eggs, toast, hash browns. That's why, the hearty breakfast at White Spot. Basically, any of those places, I'll get the same thing for breakfast. Oh, Arso beat you in the finals. Well, it's fitting that it was you and Dexter, it was you and Arso, considering it was you or Lee. You did a good job. Favorite pizza place? Pretty boring. Domino's. What's your favorite one-hit wonder from the 80s? One-hit wonder from the 80s. They weren't exactly one-hit wonders, and it might be early 90s, but All for One and Color Me Bad. They were close to one-hit wonders, but I think they might be early 90s. Tips to be more disciplined. Oh, great question, Sheldon. That's something I've struggled with a lot. If you're talking about all aspects of your life, I think acknowledging that you want to be more disciplined but maybe it's rest and getting disciplined, enough sleep, enough rest. Maybe that makes you mentally sharper, and maybe that makes you. Oh no, scratch that. That's a good answer, but a better answer: find an accountability partner. Find someone who can keep you accountable, who can check in on you and not go easy on you. That person is going to help you stay disciplined. Do you favor offensive, disrespectful when people use religious terms and non-religious comments? For instance, Louis Erickson, empty net God. No, McJesus, Connor McJesus, or empty net God. I actually do not find that offensive or disrespectful. I find it more disrespectful when I see G-O-D, God, then followed by damn it, or when someone says the name of Jesus, not in proclaiming his name. Those offend me more than the examples that you gave, Inferno. Great question. Favorite fish and chips place? Padjo's right here in Steveston. Do you think indoor dining will be allowed after May long weekend? I still think we're a little while away. American Smarties are called Rockets in Canada. Okay, then I'm going with Canadian Smarties. Are you a fan of breakfast in bed? Not really. No, it's nice for a change, but no, I don't do it a lot, and to my discredit, I don't prepare it for Gail a lot either. Favorite Canadian candy? What's Canadian? Give me some Snickers. No, the Snickers is North American. I like Snickers. I don't know what's Canadian, so give me some examples and I'll tell you if I like it or not. Reaction Club. Which John Hughes movie do you like more, Ferris Bueller or The Breakfast Club, and why? I barely remember Breakfast Club, and Ferris Bueller, I barely remember it, but a tiny bit more, so I'll pick that only because I kind of remember it. And that Oh Yeah song. Fillmore, is it possible that Vancouver could be a potential relocation for the Oakland A's? I've heard that, but I don't know enough to comment on it, to be honest with you. Thoughts on religious tattoos? Not my taste, but I know that they seem to be an in thing. Favorite stand-up comedian? There's a guy named Joe Coy. I liked Russell Peters until I found his stuff got kind of repetitive. A guy named Joe Coy who does a similar thing for Filipinos. He's Filipino. I think he's pretty funny. Do you like fishing? Yeah, I like it. I don't do it a lot. Favorite Disney movie? That would be Up. Arrow is okay. Connor McJesus, first time hearing that one. Yeah, no. Yeah, I've heard that a lot, Jock Paul. Coffee Chris. Okay, I like that one too. Have you been to Creation Fest at the Gorge? Yes, once. Once, J-Dub, long time ago. We went for one day only, which is kind of a waste, but we didn't. Yeah, we just stopped by. Coffee Chris, very good. What's your least favorite subject in school? I wasn't big on French. And yeah, I like math, English, socials, sciences, PE, music. French is probably my least favorite subject. Justin, since you said no one ever asked you, I'll ask. Any tips or advice for those looking for a relationship or in one already, drawing from your experience in your relationship marriage with Gail? Yeah, there's lots, Justin. Maybe we should save this for one of our one-on-one chats. I could go for a good half an hour. One thing I will say, though, is with any relationship or friendship, you got to be unselfish. You got to put the needs of the other person first. And even in conversation, seek first to understand before being understood, i.e., don't try and get your way, be a good listener, all those things. But Justin, we'll talk more. What prime minister would you meet? Growing up, I supported the Conservatives. So Mulroney, maybe. Brian Mulroney, the Tories, or even Stephen Harper. Did they fix the bridge to restaurant that collapsed in Steveston? Yes, they did. If you're talking about the one to Padros, they fixed it. Unless there's something else. Thoughts on Mr. Bean? I find his stuff kind of funny. Like when he was doing that Chariots of Fire symphony. I think it was for the opening of the Olympics or something. Joe Coy is hilarious. He's good. What kind of pet would you have after a dog? After a dog, I think hamster? No. Gerbil? No. Snake? No. Cat? Definitely not. Bird? No. Fish? Maybe. Fish? We've had fish. We've had turtles too. One turtle crawled out of my tank and we found him stuck to the carpet behind my piano. Not my finest moment. Blends or Starbucks? Neither. Don't drink coffee. All subjects to me are a snooze fest. Edmund, just got it now. Will you and your boys play NHL 21? Yeah, we'll do that for sure over the summer. See edits. Which of your kids' personalities emulates you the most? Without a shadow of a doubt, that's Jacob. He might not want to hear me admit that, but Kayla has a lot of my tendencies. I actually talk about this a lot in some of my religious talks about imitation being the sincerest form of flattery. You've all heard that. How my kids imitate me, good, bad, and ugly. Kayla and Sean. Sean's stubborn, competitive like me, smart like me. I'll say I'm smart, even though I haven't been showing it. Kayla's creative like I am. She's very, I think, unselfish like I like to think I am. But Jacob, far and away, a bit of stubbornness, smart, a great sense of humor, good public speaker, engaging, charismatic. It sounds like I'm showing off, but no, these are things that I see in him that remind, not just me, but remind a lot of other people of me as well. And he loves doing stuff for the church. He loves being in front of the camera as well. Jogpal, stupid how they try and shove French down our throat. Jimmy Kimmel or James Corden? I actually like Kimmel's features better, like the mean tweets, but I think James Corden is very talented. Can you tell the difference between Melania Trump and Caitlyn Jenner? Not going there. Parker's NHL 21 After Dark 1v1. Parker, you would kill me. You would. It would be ridiculous. Like I suck. I don't know how to deke. My kids just trip me every time, give me penalty shots because they know I'm not going to score. I'm horrible. Although for those of you that are OGs, I can't believe I said that. Those of you that have been on my channel for a long time, you remember that last year we did that 1v1v1 tournament and I upset Jake in the semis and I almost beat Sean. I took Sean to overtime in the finals. Put a yes in the chat if you were there when I played Sean last summer and Jake, and I almost beat Sean in the final. In fact, I took him to a shootout. We went like 7 rounds. Put a yes in the chat if you were there. Have you ever been to Mexico? No, I haven't. I'd like to. I miss Jacob and his comedy. Yeah, we'll get him on here. Great stream. Thank you, Jeff. Good night, Shannon. Thank you. First job, Old British Fish and Chips at the P&E. Making fish and chips. Yes, no, yes. Have your family members got vaccinated? Yeah, 4 of us have. Me and Gail got the AstraZeneca 3 weeks ago. Sean and Jake got it in March, actually, because they're part of food and beverage. They were able to get it. And Kayla, who's 13, hasn't got it yet. Clay, are you old enough to remember Blades of Steel? Absolutely. And going to crash the party next time and take the crown. Well, maybe we play twos, me and you against the 2 boys. Although we don't play online. It's so ghetto, Parker. You'll see. That's what I'll put in the chat as we're winding down. Is I'll find that one. It's so ghetto how we do it is I don't even stream it properly. I just film our screen. Okay, let's see if I do this. Clay NHL stream. Oh no, then it's gonna think, what did I call it? NHL 20. Okay, here they are. Oh, this is the one where I got killed. Okay, maybe I'll put this one in for now. Okay, so in the chat, I will put the stream of January where the kids smoked me. And then Parker, if you want, you can see how bad I am. Okay, there it is. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna cut it off there because it's been an hour. There's so many good questions. Okay, I'll go really fast. Do you have a favorite famous chef or cooking show? No, I don't watch those things. Gail watches them all the time. And then favorite ride in P&E, the rickety roller coaster. Number one celebrity you would meet right now, if it's not an athlete, I would love to meet Denzel Washington or singer Bruno Mars. Any favorite reality show? Survivor. Never missed an episode since it started 20 years ago. Curry beef brisket on rice or fried rice? I'll go with fried rice. Play NHL 21 on stream. I'm so bad. Let me help with the tech. No, Parker, you are the tech guy. Night. My money's on Parker. Sorry, Clay. He's going to smoke you. Yeah, I fully admit that, and I have no problem admitting that, Jeff. So you should bet on me, and we'll give you like 100-1 odds. Okay, guys. What I will say is, what was I going to share with you? Hockey pool. So every year I do this hockey pool. I call it the NHL confidence pool. So it's not a pure bracket pool, but what it is I basically give you, there's 16 teams, and for each of the 16 teams, you assign a point value, 16 down to 1. And every time that team wins a series, you get that many points. So let's say, for instance, you thought that the Colorado Avalanche were going to win the cup. You give them 16 points. Let's say you think they're going to beat Carolina in the final. You'd give Carolina 15 points. All the way down, 16, 15, all the way down to 1. And you basically put like Nashville or St. Louis as your 1 if you think, or Montreal, if you think they're going to get smoked in the first round. So every time a team wins a series, you get those points that you assign to that team. You only assign those points once at the start of the playoffs, and you don't get to change your picks. And then you also get bonus points for picking the Conn Smythe winner. It was awesome. We had about 30 or 40 people in it last year. I charged $15, and then first gets like 60%, second gets 30%, third place gets 10%. A lot of fun. So I will work on that spreadsheet once all the brackets are set. I think they are actually, and then I'll get that out sometime this weekend. And you just have to email me, and I will send it to you. And yeah, that's it's my confidence pool that I do it every year. I do it actually for basketball and for hockey. And I had some people from the hockey pool join the basketball pool as well. So look forward to that. Again, not a traditional bracket pool, but it will be a playoff pool nonetheless, called my confidence pool. Okay, we're going to wrap up now. So thanks everyone for being here. Moderators, thank you. It didn't look like you had to do too much tonight, but I still appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing. Once again, happy birthday, Kylan. Happy 19th. Not sure if you're still on or if your dad's still on. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a great day. Hope you had a great day. Thank you to Katie. Not sure if she's still on. Well, she's texting me right now, so make sure you watch. I'm gonna go. That's what I'm gonna do before I go to bed. I'm gonna go edit the video. It is an awesome. Katie is so articulate, so beautiful inside and out, and has a lot of really good things to say about sports and women in sports. So that'll be live on my channel at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I won't be releasing it as a premiere because I won't be able to. I only do premieres when I can be there to watch it and type. But I'll release it just flat out at 9, so you can watch the whole thing starting at 9 o'clock. So subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Become a member of this channel if you like to. No members things going on this weekend. But don't forget, I'll do a post-game live stream, I guess, on Saturday night because the Canucks play on Saturday. And then they play again on Sunday. And Sunday night, that's when I'll be doing my live thing. Oh, something just buzzed as we're trying to wrap up here. That's usually a good thing when the thing buzzes, but I have no clue because I'm not on my normal computer. Did someone just do something? Jeff King becomes a member. That is awesome. Thank you, Jeff. That is pretty cool. So I will add you. That is awesome, Jeff. Well, happy to have you. And see, that's awesome that you're down for the polls. Thank you, Jeff. That's a great way to end. And yes, of course, I'm going to end the stream with a joke. Don't do that. That was very good. So thank you, Jeff, once again. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. Mods, Monkey 9, all of you for being with me tonight. And let's do my final wrap up. Again, post game on Saturday night, chat with Katie tomorrow morning, and then my live stream commentary reaction concert me wearing an earring. Still not sure who wants to see that on Sunday night because I'm not going to the game on Tuesday anymore. Okay. I had it typed up because I didn't want to mess it up. I should know these off the top of my head. Okay. So, got to do this right. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And to wind up tonight, for my dad joke, I want to give a shout out to all my fingers. I can always count on them. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.